call the odd offside coming into your zone. Other than that, as a linesman, you got a little bit more responsibility. You got to try and cover both lines, dropping all the pucks. But in terms of being a referee, it doesn't change a whole lot.
Now, how long did you play yourself as a player?
I played for a long time. I probably played since I was 6 years old. I quit hockey when I started reffing, so I was about 16. So I played roughly 10 seasons.
So you never had that time where you were doing both. Talk about, obviously there's guys out there that have never put on the stripes. There are also guys that do both. Do you notice the difference of players that understand the referee's job on the ice versus the players that don't really have the understanding because they've never really done it?
Oh, absolutely. There's a huge difference, right? So usually when you have guys who have done both, they understand that there's different sight lines all over the ice, right? So it's a lot easier to have conversations with guys like that because they understand it. They've been on both sides of the coin. And you know what? Being an official is a great way to kind of stay into the game, right? Especially at a high level like this. It's high intensity. You got to take it seriously. It's a job, right?
Absolutely. And there's also a lot of, I'm not sure, you have to participate in a camp, I'm assuming in the fall most times, or at least there's a recertification process.
There is a recertification process, yes. The OHA actually used to have a camp called NASO, and basically what it was kind of like a recruitment camp. There's stuff of that still goes around, but they've kind of abandoned that. Like I said, they do have recruitment processes through other camps and stuff like that, but there is a recertification process every year where we go and write an exam.
Now, people oftentimes when they see the ref teams on the ice, especially at the OJHL level, they assume they're just sort of been thrown together. There's 4 guys that showed up to referee because they're certified to ref. Yeah. But there really is more of a team aspect to it, especially at the Tier 2 junior A level as a Level 4 official. I believe you carpool to most games together.
Yep.
And it is really, you become a third team on the ice. That's not really just a phrase. It's actually
yeah, absolutely. Like there's no better way to put it than we are a third team out there, right? You know, we go out there and we put in our best foot forward. We're on the ice for 60 minutes. We don't take any shifts off, right? So we're out there to make it safe and fair for all the boys. We're a very tight-knit group. All the guys in our area are fantastic. We get along really well, and it's almost like a brotherhood, right? So we are a team. We're a big, happy team.
What kind of preparation goes in the hours leading up to, say, game in the OJHL?
It's not too bad. A lot of guys, once we get to the rink, we usually get to the rink a little bit an hour before game time. The linesmen, their process is kind of sped up a little bit as we have to be on the ice for warm-up, right? So we have about 30 to 35 minutes to kind of get ready, whether we do a little stretch, a light jog, not very long. Have a snack, something like that, and then get dressed, go for warm-up. The refs is a little bit different because they have longer time to prepare, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing. Like they'll get a little bit more of a dynamic stretch in. Maybe they'll go talk to some of the coaches or the managers and say, how's things going? What's head-to-head been like recently over the last couple of years? But yeah, other than that, it doesn't change a whole lot from the players. It's just our process is sped up a little bit.
Talk a bit about. You hear a lot of pushback towards the officials, but a lot of it is uneducated, is how I'm going to put this. Uneducated pushback. If there was one thing you could point out that you wish the general hockey fan knew about refereeing, what would it be?
The biggest thing has to be sight lines. Everyone has their own interpretations of the rules. The rules are there for us to play by and for us to enforce as officials, right? But a lot of people don't understand that everyone in the rink has different sight lines for certain plays, right? So there's going to be people up in the stands that might see something that you may not see in the corner, right? And a lot of people don't understand. If it's directly in front of you, you may not have the best angle to see it sometimes, right? Because things happen so fast. But sight lines is hands down the biggest thing, in my opinion.
Absolutely. So one more question here. How do you view a tournament like this in terms of your development as an official? Is this a way to keep warm in the summer? Are there guys here evaluating you as well in the stands? What's this kind of tournament like for you? I
don't know if there's anyone in the stands up there evaluating us. I'm not 100% sure, but it's definitely a good way to kind of stay into the game and, like you said, kind of stay warm throughout the off season, right? It's good. It's high-paced hockey. There's a lot of skill involved, right? So you still can't take any time off. Games are a little bit shorter. You got to be sharp, right? So. Working up in our way into the season, we're only a couple months away already, but it's a nice way to kind of stay sharp and stay into the game and shake off any rust, right?
Now, I don't know if you took a look at the rules before for the championship game, but obviously overtime, if it goes that far, it could get down to a 2-on-2, 1-on-1 situation. Have you ever had to ref in a situation like that?
You know what? I've never been in a situation like that. I've gone down to 3-on-3 in some tournaments, but I have seen a couple 2-on-2 games go to overtime in like international tournaments and stuff like that, where they go into like 8 overtime periods, right? So it gets pretty intense. It's a lot of back and forth.
Absolutely. All right, that's Andy Sampson. He's an official here at the TEP Showcase, also in the OJHL. And yes, thanks for joining us here, Andy.
Thanks, Alex. I appreciate it.
Awesome. All right, so we'll be continuing our coverage throughout the afternoon. More interviews straight ahead and updates on the TEP Showcase here at Scotiabank Pond.